Good morning, everybody. Julie Jackson, your key to sold in Southeast Texas with Coldwell Banker Southern Homes. Thanks for joining me today. So we are on part 3 of what I do and how do I find a house. So step 1 was find our realtor. Step 2 is find our lender and get our pre-approval in hand. Step 3 is usually my buyer's favorite part and mine as well. It's the house hunting trip. But there are a few key things that we need to keep in mind before we even start our home finding trip. So by now you've probably already been looking online and searching and looking and driving neighborhoods if you're in the area and deciding what areas that you want to be in, and that is awesome. But I do want to remind you that third-party websites sometimes don't have access to our MLS data. So my recommendation is that you use realtor.com for your searching, and then hopefully by this time your real estate agent has put you on some kind of an MLS notification system, so you are seeing brand new listings and price changes in your requirements on a daily or weekly basis. So step number 1 for me on the home finding trip is actually started during our first buyer consultation. I usually have you fill out a buyer information sheet that gives me your minimum requirements, your bedrooms, your bath, do we need a fence? But I also ask a few more in-depth questions like, do you prefer wood or tile floors? Do you not want laminate or not want carpet? And these kind of types of things. And then also I will ask for your 4 must-haves. I don't always have 4, but you know, I noticed that when we go on our first home finding trip, typically the buyer is actually looking for those 4 things that I put on there as their must-haves. So our first trip we'll go out and I'll let you pick a few, but I also usually try to pick a few myself that I have previewed or I know that fit a lot of your criteria. And we'll go and we'll look, and if we find number 1 that day, that's awesome. We're going to write a contract and then we're going to go to step 4 of our process. But if we don't, then what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of be judging what appeals to you, what types of things that you're looking for in each house. We'll talk about where furniture is sitting, and that gives me a good idea of what to look for in the future. So I will narrow down my search and what I'm doing. So then our next trip out, hopefully I'm actually showing you some houses that really fit your criteria. And typically what I find is that within 2 or 3 trips, we actually can find that home of your dreams. So that's step number 3. Step number 4 in our process is writing a contract. So thanks for joining me. Y'all have a great day, and I will talk to you next week.